Hello, we are Jorge Canales, Esteban Quezada, Sebastian Salgado, and Martin Trujillo, and today we will talk about a historic place in our country, the Humberstone Nitrate Offices. The Humberstone Nitrate Office, or as it used to be called, La Palma, was built in 1972 by Peruvian Nitrate Company in the Pampas of Tamarugal, 15 kilometers from the city of Iquique, today in the first region of Tarapacá. Already in 1889, it was one of the largest nitrate plants in the region. However, in the year that followed, various changes of owner arose, although it was not a barrier in the activities, since the production and importance was always maintained. Sometime later, the Great Depression caused the paralysis of the war of the establishment, which resumed around 1934, once the office became the property nitrate company of Tarapacá and Antofagasta. It was this company that made a strong investment bearing on the modernization of the plant and the camp in the conviction that greater productivity would allow competition for natural saltpeter in international markets.
When it was reopened, it was baptized as the Santiago Humberstone office in honor of the English chemical engineer, who adapted to the nitrate industry the soda production system called Shanks, which in turn took that name in honor of its inventor. Now, if the nitrate company of Tarapacá and Antofagasta had not made that great investment, Humberstone could never have reached its maximum development, which between the decade of the 30s came to house a population of 3,700 residents. In 1958, the nitrate company of Tarapacá and Antofagasta entered an acute crisis and ended up dissolving. Humberstone was closed for good, and its last residents abandoned it in 1960. The office, along with the others of the so-called Nebraska Group, was auctioned in 1962, and its property was awarded to a private individual.
Humberstone is today an invaluable testimony to the history of Saltpeter. The industrial sector of the campus is partially dismantled and presents a great deterioration, but the urban part of the office gives an account of the way of life of the nitrate pampas, and its planning and design reflect the concept developed in the architectural movement of the Industrial Revolution. It is a characteristic property of the English nitrate plants, and only 3 of its kind remain standing: Humberstone, Santa Laura, and Iris. In Humberstone, it is possible to appreciate the social, commercial, and public center of the office, where the beautiful chapel, the pulperia with its white arcade, the magnificent theater built in wood, the hotel and the large pool with bleachers, and the square. Of a great interest is the administration house of establishment, built in 1883, and the huge gravel cake of the office, which evokes the great wealth produced by the work of its hard-working inhabitants, who had to get used to a new rhythm of life in that nitrate city.
Humberstone Nitrate Office was declared a history landmark on January 16, 1970. Later, the decrees also included his gravel kicks and the extension of boundaries. It is under the protection of the Salitre Museum Corporation since 2001, managing to its various restoration works. Currently, it forms next to the Santa Laura Nitrate Office, a single area declared a historical monument and that were entered in the UNESCO World Heritage List since 2005, being considered part of the list of heritage in danger. As of 2019, this nitrate office ceased to belong to the list of dangerous of UNESCO, thus leaving a very good impression of how this historical heritage of Chile has been taken care of. However, even though UNESCO has said this, we should not rely on such ancient monuments in terms of conservation is spoken, because, although it left the list of danger, it can easily re-enter therefore. We must begin to get used to taking care of historical monuments so that in the future they remain standing, allowing future generations to remember a part of the history of our country.